Roll. Hey everybody, welcome to the Women Who Mule JAPAC and a warm welcome from all of us. Let's start with some introductions and just knowing who we have on there. If you all can please introduce yourselves, just with your name, your location, and if you can maybe add a adjective to your names, just like I added one for Sonal as a superwoman Sonal from Melbourne, or Rajneet from Adelaide. I can add adjectives, it's fine. It's a radiant Rajneet. Please, let's see how diverse our audience is and how interesting our audience is. Hey Alpha, hey Meghna, just looking at those. Just in the background, meanwhile we are doing this. As of agenda today, I'll get walk you all through the agenda, and in the meanwhile, if you have any rainy Sydney, that's a welcome Alda, welcome Daniel. Um, if you have any questions, there's a Q&A tab you can always put in there. Feel free to keep the chat going. We'll take the questions, give it to our speakers in the meanwhile. As for today in the agenda, we have our welcome introductions, and then we have our beautiful Himanshi, who's gonna take us through her musical journey, how she started, how she walked through, and all that stuff. Then we have an interesting Kahoot. We'll be having a giveaway winner with that as well. And then we go on with the lightning talk with Swarnima to help you all find a new hobby for yourselves. And then have some event wrap up, takeaways, and finish off the event. Let's just go through the chat quickly. Himanshi. Hi, Louis Callum from Wellington. That's interesting. Alpa from India. Amrendra from Pune. Super hot Pune. Yeah, I can imagine. It would be hot at this time. Um, as for introductions, this is an overall snapshot of Women Who Mule, the groups across the globe, and you would know number of familiar faces. You would see Archana here as a video on as well. She is one of the founders, so definitely if you can't see her there, she's down there just with us today. For the moderators, you have myself, Rajneet. I'm based out of Adelaide and I've been working on MuleSoft as a product for a few years now. Kind of, I'm biased with MuleSoft at the moment, but we'll see how we go. And I'll give on to Sonal for her introduction as well. Over to you, Sonal.
Hi everyone, I'm Sonal Sharma. Can you guys listen? Can you hear me fine? Yeah. So my name is Sonal Sharma. I'm based out of Melbourne, Australia, and it's quite sunny over here. As you can see, I'm struggling with the sun a little bit. I'm an integration architect, certified MuleSoft certified integration architect as well. GTM champion, go-to-market champion. I encourage everyone who is listening to me, look for go-to-market champion. It's a great program. And I'm working as an integration architect for Capgemini. My favorite MuleSoft topic is C4E for the time being. Please feel free to chat, to write down onto the chat what's your favorite topic in Mule is. What makes you interesting, the variables, error handling, or what it is. That's pretty much it.
Thank you, Sonal. And I would take a moment to actually introduce Archana as well and let her say hi to everyone as well.
Thanks, Rajneet. Hi, everyone. I think most of you know me already. I'm Archana Patel, and I was working as a customer success architect at MuleSoft. I had just recently left that role to pursue an integration development opportunity in Wellington. But yeah, so very much looking forward to this Women Who Mule meetup and to listen from Himanshi and Swanima on their talks. Thank you.
Thank you, Ajna. And from here, I'll pass it on to Himanshi to share her topic and give her introduce herself, take us through her talk as well. Over to you, Himanshi.
Sure, Rajni. Meanwhile, Ranjit, can you pass me the share screen access? Yeah, it's there. Hi everyone, I'll quickly share my screen. Good morning everyone. Thanks for joining us for our first event of 2022. Also, a big thanks to Women Who Mule community for giving me such a wonderful opportunity to share my mule journey with everyone. It feels really great to be here. All right. I believe that everyone's career journey is ultimately very different, but I also believe that there's a lot we can learn from the journeys of those who have already been there. And that is why I'm here today to share my mule journey with everyone. So, for anyone who's a beginner or who's planning to start their mule journey, here's what you can refer to, and I hope this talk brings some value to you.
Hey,
So, today
Manju,
we'll be covering.
sorry to disturb. We are not seeing your presentation. We are seeing the meetup screen.
Sharing.
So,
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Just give me a second. Is it visible now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
yep,
Yeah.
we can see it.
So today we'll be covering a short introduction about me, where was I born, and how I entered into the technical world. And then we'll be covering my MuleSoft journey, that is how my MuleSoft roadmap looked like, and how I went from a beginner to an experienced developer, and then to a MuleSoft mentor, and then to finally a MuleSoft meetup speaker. Then we'll be covering few of the core challenges which I faced in my journey. And of course, when we have talked about challenges, we have to talk about lessons and takeaways. So we'll be covering few of the lessons which I hold very close to my heart. And then we'll be covering what's next for me, what are my future plans ahead in MuleSoft. And then finally, we'll be having a short Q&A session. You can ask me any doubts you have related to MuleSoft or my MuleSoft journey or anything in general. All right. So who am I? I'm Himanshi Jain. I'm based out of Bangalore, India. I'm a computer science engineer by training, and I have roughly around 3 years of industry experience. Currently, I'm working with Epicero as a lead engineer in MuleSoft. With Epicero, it's been close to 2 years. I have been working as a lead engineer, and so far the journey is going great. So that was a sweet introduction about me. Now let's move on to the reason why we are here, my MuleSoft journey. So I started my MuleSoft journey in October 2020 when I got an opportunity with Apicero to be a MuleSoft developer. Before that, I worked as a Java developer for about an year as at T Systems India. The first thing I did after entering Epicero was I got myself enrolled for Mule4 developer training course, which is provided by MuleSoft. So it comes with certain number of modules related to introduction to MuleSoft, Anypoint Studio, Anypoint platform, error handling. Basically, it covers everything. It also comes with certain number of DIY exercises for you to self-practice what you have learned. So I would suggest that if for anyone who's a beginner at MuleSoft or who's planning to start their Mule journey, this is one of the best course you can go for. The second thing which I did after entering Epicero was I also got myself enrolled for Epicero's in-house training, which was great. Now, as I became familiar with MuleSoft terminology, that is how stuff works in MuleSoft, I completed my Mule4 Certified Developer Level 1 certification. Since 2021, I started working with client live projects. So I worked with projects ranging from finance to healthcare to food and beverage industry to legacy businesses. And while I was working with different domains and with clients across the globe, I had opportunities to work with different mule connectors, different MuleSoft deployment strategies. And I believe that 70% of knowledge is through client projects. Now, when I was working with different mule connectors and different clients across the globe, one of the main challenge which I faced continuously was the limited amount of resources we have for MuleSoft. There are very limited resources available on internet, and as I worked more and more with MuleSoft, I realized how important it is to give it back to the community. I realized how important it is to give it back to the people. So that's when I started writing my own blogs. So in August 2020, I published my very first blog on how to implement a GitHub pipeline, a CI/CD pipeline for MuleSoft Cloud Hub deployment through GitHub Actions. And as soon as I published that blog, I contributed my part, and then I realized that how one of my contributions has actually saved hours of time of people across the globe. So I started contributing more and more. I started attending more and more meetups. I started writing more and more blog content, and I also started supporting various contributors videos. Finally, in January 2022, I applied for MuleSoft Mentor Program. And so MuleSoft runs this amazing program where they recognize their top community contributors. And I applied for that one. And in January, finally, I was selected as a MuleSoft mentor. Fun fact, I always wanted to be a MuleSoft meetup speaker. It was on my bucket list since long. And finally, when I got this opportunity to speak up and share my Mule journey with everyone, I grabbed it with both hands. And so far, it's going great. So this was my core journey in a nutshell, from having no experience in MuleSoft to a beginner, and then to an experienced developer, and then to a Mule mentor, and then finally to a MuleSoft meetup speaker. Of course, when we have talked about journey, we have to talk about challenges, right? Because I believe that no journey is complete without challenges. So here are a few of the challenges which I hold very close to my heart and which were very prominent in my journey. First is small community, limited resources. I believe that we all can relate to it, that MuleSoft community is not as big and as rich in resources as other tech communities are. There are very limited resources available on web, which is of course changing now. I have seen tremendous contributions by people since last year, and I hope we make this community as big, as rich in resources, as thriving as other tech communities are. Second is imposter syndrome. Personally, for me, when I started my MuleSoft journey, I had so many inhibitions in my mind. Since then, it's quite a fruitful journey, wherein now I believe that I bring as much work to the table as the person beside me. And I'm much more confident about my skills and what I bring to the table. Of course, with challenges comes the lessons and takeaways. I actually cannot put a finger on just one experience which has taught me the most. It's the collective collaboration of big and small dents that have created that have led me navigate through my career journey. And these are few of the lessons which I learned the hard way, and some I borrowed from the mentors I was amazing to work with. So yeah, these are few of the lessons which I would like to share with you all. First is never stop learning. I believe that learning is a process and not a destination. In my 3 years of tech journey, I had uncountable moments wherein I was unaware of various things. And I think that it's perfectly fine. It's perfectly okay. We in this ever-changing tech world, we cannot know everything, right? But we can make sure that we have that curiosity boiling in us. So whenever we come across certain words which we are not sure of, which we are unaware of, we should just go out there, search it on Google, and then we should learn from it. Second is always unit test. I know it is a tiring process. I know it takes tons of hours of time, but trust me, with unit testing, you can actually catch and resolve tons of your issues which would have popped up in later environment. So always unit test. Third is there will always be someone who needs your help. I strongly believe that we can give a lot back to the community. We can give a lot back to the people, because if someone would not have done that to me, I wouldn't be here where I'm in life today. And that is why I believe that it is very important to give it back. I believe that it's a cycle, and when it's your turn to paddle, you just have to make sure that you give your best shot. Fourth is open to feedback. I would strongly encourage everyone to go out there and find yourself a mentor. They can be anyone, your colleague, your peer, your friends, your manager, anyone to whom you can relate to. Trust me, you will learn a lot from your mentor, not just by seeking feedback from them, but by also observing them, their leadership skills, how they act in stress situation, what are the solutions they offer. You will learn a lot. So these are few of the lessons which I hold very close to my heart. Now what's next for me? Of course, this is not it. I have a lot to achieve in MuleSoft next. Two of the most important thing which I'm looking forward to is, first is my professional development. That is how I can contribute back to my organization, how how I can enhance my technical capabilities. So first, I'll be completing my MuleSoft Certified Platform Architect certification. And I'm also looking forward to completing my MuleSoft Certified Integration Architect certification. And one of the most important thing which I'm looking forward to is participating in MuleSoft Hackathon 2022. Second big thing which I'm looking forward to is giving it back to the community. So I'll try to be more and more active on forums. I'll try to answer more and more of your queries. And also I'll try to write more and more blogs on various technical contents to help others. I'm also looking forward to hosting more and more meetups, so on various technical topics. Yeah, so I think that is it for now. We'll have a short Q&A session. You can ask me anything related to my MuleSoft journey, MuleSoft, or anything in general. Please feel free to ask me anything that's coming on your mind.
I think, Himanshi, there was a question for you from Rohit. It was, what is imposter syndrome?
Okay.
What is imposter
So
syndrome?
imposter syndrome, yeah. Hi, Rohit. So imposter syndrome is basically when you are capable, but you have slightest of the doubt in your mind that, oh yes, I'm missing something. Oh yes, I'm not that good enough. So that is what imposter syndrome is.
I think I have a
Probably
question.
Archana, probably Archana, do you want to say a bit more about imposter syndrome? Because I think so we have seen this quite a lot, especially in the women, when we are working with such whenever we work, we find very male dominated, sometimes groups, and where we always feel like, okay, am I doing it right? Am I speaking right? Am I speaking too much? Or what? So all those questions start hitting us. Ashna, do you want to say a bit more about your experience on that?
Sure. I think everyone, as you mentioned, everyone feels that. I guess at some point, especially if you've been a woman in tech, then that's very, I guess, easy feeling to get across. And yeah, it's I also kind of just feeling that you don't feel comfortable enough to voice your opinion sometimes because you think they don't hold the same value as the other person in the room. Some examples of that would be when men apply for jobs, they look at the job description, they look at the criteria, and if they match, let's say 60%, 70%, then they would feel comfortable applying for it. Whereas girls or women, they don't feel as comfortable even if they meet like 95%, and they'll be like, oh, but I don't match one of those criteria, and I probably will pass this one. And I guess from personal experience, that has happened quite a few times. I'm not saying it's bad that men apply for jobs that easily. I think it would be great if everyone could do that, but it's something that just holds us back and doesn't let you, I guess, apply for things that you think you might be able to get. It's just, I guess, a confidence thing that kind of plays. But yeah, I think Rajneet was also saying something. Did you want to add something,
Yeah.
Rajneet?
No, I wanted to have another question for Himanshi.
Sure, Rajni.
So the question that I had was, so you started as a Java dev and then you came to MuleSoft. How easy was that switch for you? Or would that have been easier if you would have, like, been in more development or in some other development backgrounds? Or doesn't matter? Even a business person can start it.
Actually, Rajneet, it doesn't matter. MuleSoft had these training course where they taught you everything from start, everything from beginning. So I think that it doesn't matter where you are coming from. Either you are coming from, of course, for development it will be much easier. But then even if you are coming from a business background, you would still grasp the concept and you would still perform the best as other developer would.
Sure. That's good to know.
Okay. So can we move forward if you don't have any questions?
Sure.
I believe that's all for today. You can always reach out to me on my coordinates, and please feel free to email me any questions, or you can always email me over LinkedIn. Thank you for having me here. Have a great day.
Uh,
I
Himanshi,
think
there's
so.
one
There
more
is one more
question.
question which has just come up. Himanshi, do you mind to pick
Uh-huh.
that one before we do close off?
Sure,
It,
sure. Sure, Sonal.
it's from Ritika Kaushik, and she said, "How do you stay updated with tech while working on your project?"
So we have various, so in our community we have various blogs and we have various videos over YouTube, and then we have MuleSoft community forum, so you can just check them regularly and then you will get updated about the latest trends or latest developer meet. And basically you can attend various meetups also. They discuss the latest trends going on. So I believe that's enough for getting acquainted with what's going on.
Thanks. All right.
Thank you, Himanshi. With that, I'll pass it on to Sonal for the exciting Kahoot time.
Yeah, and I'm seeing people are raising the question, which is really good. So
Yes.
please keep flowing those questions, and we will address them. And probably we'll address them after Kahoot. Let's have some exciting Kahoot first. And the stakes are very high, guys. As Imanshi also mentioned, there are the training programs, there are videos, and tutorials which you can go anytime by yourself. But the stakes for the Kahoot is your training vouchers. So make sure your Kahoot skills are well up to brushed and skills. So I'll probably share my screen. So if you guys all fine, then probably you guys can start logging into kahoot.it. So I'll probably start my Kahoot. And you need to go into kahoot.it. And you need to add this pin 7449387. And if I just pick Kahoot, you can see it says kahoot.it. You need to put your name, you need to put the pin over here. And I'll just give it a minute to let the people in. I'll probably mention this in chat as well. It's 744-9387. I'll give another minute if somebody wants to join. It's 744-9387. I think so. We have many people in the session. So this Kahoot is not about the MuleSoft. It's a very general questions. So we are asking. It's not here to test your MuleSoft development skill or architecture skills. It's a very general Kahoot. It's mainly around the women because we are in Women Who Mule. So you will find some fun or interesting topics. So I'll wait for one more person to join before I start doing that. Probably Achna. You can win the voucher to brush the skill again.
Are you sure? I'm happy to join.
Yeah. Kiraj, you all can join as well. Yeah.
Okay, why not? I'll join.
Yeah, I can see. Okay, so we have 10. So that's good. All right. Cool. So I'll probably start now. Who is the highest paid CEO in Australia? Oh, 5 people said it right. Yeah, it's Shimera, and she's Sri Lanka, Sri Lankan background, and yeah, she was the highest paid CEO in Australia currently. That's good. And okay, Vivek is on top of the board. Oh, Archana, and I'm not sure who is this LN. So okay. Guys, as you can see, it's pretty easy. First female Prime Minister of Australia. I can be a little biased over here. I'm based out of Australia, but next time I'll probably make it less unbiased to Australia. So if somebody else wants to join, they can probably wait here. Sorry, that's my bad. All right, so yeah, it's Julia. So most of the people got it right. Yeah, that's good. So people have interest in politics, and I think women are inspiring others as well. First women to travel in space. Probably you can see which country has like good with all these space satellites, and you can get the hint from there. Yeah, it's Valentina. I'm amazed, like most of the people know. Uh, I think so. She's from Russia, if I'm not wrong. Valentina, yeah. Okay, Vivek is striking and Archana is coming on board. Ellen and Ritz and Shyam, you guys can do it. MuleSoft promotes following cross-functional operating model. This is a pretty easy one. And the people who are joining might have started recently as well. They have, and the people who were in the call as well might have know what is the MuleSoft promotes following cross-functional operating model. That's wonderful. Yeah. It's 8 people. It's C4E, Center for Enablement. Oh, that's good. Probably you guys have to tell your full name as well at some point. But I'm fine with Vivek, Ellen, and Archana leading the board. How many types of variable in Mule 3 is? 1, 2, 3, 4. So probably the people who started in Mule 4, you need to go back and think. It's 3. And now, okay, yeah. Okay, so we have Ellen, Ritz, and Sham RK following Vivek. So that's good. Guys, so this is another thing that if you take the question right quickly, you'll get more points. So it's also depend on your timing as well. What's the name of the youngest ever winner of the Nobel Peace Prize? I think so. It was in 2014. You might have heard news. It was very much in the news at that time. Malala. She I think so. She became the youngest ever Nobel Peace Prize winner in 2014. And Vivek Shankar has the highest score, and we can see Shushmita as well in the board now. So Ellen, Rich, Sham, Shushmita. Cool. According to 2019 estimate by the United Nations, which country has the highest female population? It's Nepal, and Russia and Ukraine also have big female population as well. Okay, so we have Ritz has the highest answer streak of 7. So I'm not sure what's the full name, but Ritz, go for it. Sham, Ellen, yeah. Go, guys. Which country has invented Wi-Fi? We all are using Wi-Fi right now, right? United States, India, Australia, Philippines. I can't imagine last 2 years without Wi-Fi. It's Australia. And let's see. Okay, Sham, Ellen. Okay, we have Duty as well. Striking up on the board. Komal has just hit answer three. That's good. 3 right answer. Okay. Shane Warne was born in the where? We have recently had such a big tragedy with Shane Warne, so I just thought, and this is for the cricket fan as well. All the guys who have joined to support Women Who Mule and want to learn from the journey probably will be happy with this question. Shane Warne was born in Sydney, Melbourne, Canberra, Adelaide. Where? It's Melbourne. Yeah, I thought people will think it's Sydney, but it's Melbourne. Okay, that's good. So Vivek is on top of the board, following Sham, and Ellen is following Vivek. How many wickets Shane Warne took from 1993 till 2007 in Ashes? So this is particularly in Ashes. 195, 157, 201, 141. So yeah, 195. Okay, it's following Vivek. That's pretty good. Sham and Ellen. Okay. What country has a much larger sheep population than human? Australia, Mongolia, New Zealand, Iceland. I guess most of the people know this thing.
There's at least one question I'll get right in this quiz.
I thought so. So it's New Zealand, and Ashna is from New Zealand, so she's very happy to see that answer. But I'm very happy as well. At least we are. It's not just human beings. Other people, other beings are being, appreciated as well on this planet. So that's good. Okay, so I guess it's a tough fight. Vivek is on top, but Ellen, Rich, Sham, Shushmita, tough fight for the voucher. Who invented dishwasher in 1872? So the background of this is earlier. So they have invented that you can wash the dishes without rubbing with the water pressure. So what's the name of Josephine? That's right. Okay, see how the boats look like now. Okay. Vivek still on top, Ritz, Ellen, Sham, and Beauty. Okay. Oh, Chetan Sharma is the highest climber. That's good. Let's see. We still have 3 questions, guys. What was the Australia's former name? If somebody can guess it, what was Australia's former name?
I don't think this question is even in the citizenship exam. Come on, Sonal, where have you got these?
This is a very quiz, I tell you.
It's a very tricky one. Bosnia, New
Like,
Amsterdam, New
seriously,
Holland.
how could you know
and
all of
Georgia.
this?
New Holland. See, most of the people got it. It's New Holland, yeah. All right, so okay, Ritz and Sham. Okay, we still have, let's see, which country is the home of the world's longest underground river? Philippines, South America, China, Africa. and it's Philippines. So this is the last question, guys. International Women Day we have just celebrated, and I'm sure you guys must have celebrated in some or the other way. Um, it was moved to March 8th. In which year? Earlier it was on 10th of March, if I'm not wrong, but it has moved. Which year? 1930, 1912, 1911, 1900. It's 1913. So are you guys ready? So, okay, so drum rolling for Sham is the runner-up, and then we have second runner-up Ritz, and drum rolling Vivek. Vivek was going on top from the starting, so no doubt. Congratulations to all the winners. I hope you would have had a fun. And we will have the training vouchers on your way soon. Yeah, I'll pass on to Rashneet.
Thank you, Sonal.
So I'll stop
Congratulations.
sharing. Yeah.
Okay, so thank you for that. Before we move on to our next section, I think we had a question for Himanshi, which was any tips you can share for those who aspire to be a MuleSoft mentor?
Sure, Rajneet. I would suggest you go out there and write technical content. You also host meetups or attend more and more meetups and try to get what is going in the community. And yeah, just that.
Thank you, Himanshi. So after that, how to become a MuleSoft mentor. And the Kahoot, we have Swarnima, and she's gonna take us through to a lightning talk, helping ourselves find some time and hobbies. Over to you, please.
Thank you, Rajni. Thank you, everyone at Women Who Mule to provide me this opportunity to talk here. Hi, everyone. I am Swarnima. I have recently joined MuleSoft as a customer success technical architect, and I have 12 years of experience in integration. So when I'm not working on integration, I love drawing, or I would say creating the illustrations, and that is something I have been drawing since childhood, but this is drawing it in a digital manner is a skill I have developed recently. How I did that, and I put my heart and soul in it, in this hobby. And trust me, this is following this hobby regularly has taught me a lot and has changed me in so many ways. So after some technical and serious conversation, I am going to take you on this lighter road of talking about hobbies and what is the importance of having a hobby in our life. So welcome aboard. I'll share my screen. Give me a second. It seems there is some issue in settings. It may take a couple of minutes.
In the
Okay,
meanwhile, if you guys want to just post your favorite hobby, if you have one.
Are you able to see my screen now?
Yes.
Rajni, can you confirm?
Yes. we can.
Okay,
Yep, we can see it.
Yeah. So should I start, or I think you just asked the question.
I just asked if people want to give their hobbies by the time you were just setting up.
Yeah, sure. Please drop them
Amazing.
in the chat box. Okay, so I'll go ahead with this. So today I'm going to talk about find a hobby, find yourself. So okay, so when we say the word hobby, so this is something, an activity which is done regularly during your leisure time that gives you happiness and joy. So I know hobby is such a common word. We all have said and heard it so many times. And not only this, n number of times we have been asked, or we have asked this question, what are your hobbies? So when we talk about what are your hobbies, so yeah, all of us give a very casual answer. Okay, I love drawing, I love reading, I love dancing, or maybe traveling, etc. And indeed, we mean that we love doing all these activities, and we really enjoy them. But the question is, how often do we do them? Or do we really do them? Or do we find ourselves saying, okay, I'm so busy. I have kids, I don't find time. My work schedule is really busy. I do not have time to pursue my hobby. Yes, we do that, right? Sounds familiar. So, definitely, I don't doubt that we all are so busy, and we will always be busy if we do not manage our time well. Because when we don't manage our time well, we end up juggling between different activities and tasks, and the whole day passes. We are not able to complete any of them efficiently, and at the end of it, we feel frustrated and we end up losing our me time. So this is what happens a lot. So when we talk about this, now the question arises, okay, when I'm so busy, when I don't have time, then what is the need of the hobby? What is the big deal about it? Or somebody may ask, what is the ROI of my time invested over a hobby? Yeah, that's right. So why a hobby? Is it just a leisure activity, or it is something is it just a leisure activity that you do in your free time, or is it something more than that? So let's talk about that. What do you think you get out of a hobby? Maybe you can drop your answers in the chat box, and meanwhile I'll take you through some of the points that I think, or some of the advantages I would say that I feel we get when we follow a hobby. So, first out of that will be happiness, joy, inner peace, and whatever you call it. So, definitely, most of the things we do in the world, we do it because at the end of it, we feel happy. So, there is a deal about happiness. Everybody wants to achieve that at the end of doing anything. So, happiness is joy is something that you get that you get when you follow something you love. So investing your time in something that you love doing, and at the end of it seeing something na coming to a shape, or getting a measurable result out of it, gives you immeasurable happiness. It gives you a sense of achievement, like, okay, I did this, I have created this. Like seeing the garden in which you have invested your mornings from past 1 month, seeing it flourish, or seeing a sculpture taking a shape, or establishing a new record in the running, or in any other activity, or maybe a blog that you have written. So seeing something that you have created and coming it in a shape, it gives us immense happiness and joy. So that is something we get out of it. Next, I would say learning new skills or mastering the skills that we already have. So, having a hobby not only gives us time and enthusiasm to master what we already have, but it also encourages us to learn something new. Like when you find a hobby, maybe I want to learn an instrument, or I want to uh, learn a sport. And when I choose to do something, then I find time, and I make efforts to, you know, work on that. It gives me a motivation to go and learn it and master it. Like I would give you an example. I have loved drawing since childhood. So when I started, of course, I started with crayons and sketch pens and all that. Then eventually I wanted to move to watercolors. I wanted to learn watercolors. Then I put some effort and I learned watercolors. Then I moved to acrylic. And then slowly I moved to oil paints. I mean, I really wanted to do oil paints, but I was really hesitant because I thought they are really difficult. I would not be able to do that. But because I already loved drawing a lot, I wanted to learn it. So I put effort in learning the oil paints. And then eventually, when the digital techno I mean the new era came, with that the digital drawings came. Now seeing the digital drawings, I wanted to learn that. So I again put a lot of effort in that. I learned new tools, I learned the gadgets, I learned about the softwares, I learned how to do that. And when I started, I was like, really, you should have seen my drawings. It was like a 3-year-old kid has drawn something. But then slowly I learned it, and I am in a much better place now. So I think that is my love for art, and my hobby of art not only helped me in learning art, but it also helped me in learning new things that came along with it. So this is something, when you when you love something and you invest your time in that, it helps you in learning things. Next is, I would say, the community, building a community, meeting people. So many of us find it hard to just go and meet people or strike a conversation, or some of us are not like party animals, or not, or are not very extrovert. So when you follow a hobby, sometimes it gives you a chance to meet the people who share same interest, like pursuing a sport, or going to a dance class, or having a blogger community. So if you be part of that, it gives you a chance to meet the people who share same interest, and gives you a chance to be in a community of common interest. So that is one thing, and it helps you make new friends as well. So after that, I would say we have time management. So I don't think I need to explain it. A better time management. Having a hobby teaches us to manage our time well. How? I'll give you an example. Like, when we are excited to do something, when we want to do something, we make sure that we finish everything on time and we start that thing. Like, if you have a long weekend, so on the Thursday in the morning, you get up early, you go to office, you focus on your work, you wrap up everything on time to make sure that I do not get late for that vacation that I'm going to take on the long weekend. So whole day you are excited about something that is going to happen in the evening. So because of that, you make sure that you manage your time well since morning, you finish everything on time, so that at the end you can go and take part in what you love. So this is what hobby also does. If you have something to look forward to in the evening to go to at home, then it will help you manage your time well and focus on your work, finish it on time, so that you can go back to it and pursue it. So that is one thing. Then after that, we have breaking the monotony. So just like I said above, when you have a hobby, it will help you manage your time well and focus on your work. So like, when we are following the same thing, like they say, a hobby a day keeps the doldrums away. So getting up in the morning, doing chores, going to office, then coming back, doing the same thing, having your dinner, and then going to sleep, maybe watching TV or doing something, and then going to sleep. Sometimes this thing happening repeatedly over the time makes us feel bored. We lose interest in not in our daily, not only in our daily life, we also lose the fresh perspective, and eventually we lose focus and interest in our work as well. But when you have something to look forward to, it makes your day exciting. Having something personal and relaxing to indulge into when you get back home or over the weekends revives your zeal for the things. It gives you a fresh perspective, and it directly affects your work life as well. When you are excited about something as work, when you're excited about something at work, then when you go back home, you do that thing, it refreshes you, and you will be excited about your work, for your work as well, the very next day. So it definitely breaks the monotony and gives you a fresh perspective. Then last but not the least, we have work life balance. So like I just pointed out so many points saying that how it helps us create interest in our professional life and work life as well. So definitely it creates a work life balance. Having a hobby hugely helps us in achieving that. When you are at work and have something to look forward to, which rejuvenates you and relaxes you, it will help you appreciate your work more and be productive in that as well. So this was all about hobby. Now moving ahead, like I said, find a hobby, find yourself. So how does a hobby helps me or helps a person finding themselves? What is that in a hobby that you can say that, okay, this helped me in knowing this about myself? Let's have a look at that as well. So I would say the busyness and monotony of our daily lives often makes us lose ourselves. We get so immersed in the routine, especially when we have tasks, when we have activities, we are working on a project. Even when we get back to home, we keep thinking about work. Okay, I have to go tomorrow, I have to take this meeting, I have to do this, I have to do that. And sometimes we lose focus from our family or personal life as well, because we are so stressed about work, we are so immersed in it, we completely lose track of things. We 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 not only we miss the things that are important for us, we sometimes neglect the things like our family, etc., because we are so stressed out, we are so busy, and we have a lot in our mind going on, we have no way to relax. So in that case, pursuing a hobby not only gives you joy and helps you relaxing, but it brings out the best in you. How? Because pursuing a hobby introduces us to our new selves. Like when I work on something and I give a lot to that project, like a passion project, maybe I'm working on a garden, maybe I'm working on a recipe, maybe I am working on my bike, I'm fixing something on that, maybe I am working on a dance sequence. So when you work on something wholeheartedly, it helps you. Sometimes it brings back the qualities that were always in you, but you lost over the time because you were so busy in work. And the qualities that you never knew existed in you. So sometimes working on a hobby makes you sometimes working on a hobby often familiarizes you with some part of yourself that you were never knew existed. For example, when we choose a hobby, or when a person chooses a hobby, it tells us a lot about them. Like maybe a person who is over and energetic, or is a person who likes fast things, might go for adventure sport. A person who likes daring things might go for sport, adventure sports, or maybe dancing, or something that needs a lot of energy. So we know that, okay, this person is someone who likes energetic things and he cannot stand still or he cannot sit still. On the other hand, there may be a person who likes gardening, maybe blogging, maybe reading in quiet, or maybe sculpting, something that needs a lot of patience, quiet time, me time, calm environment. So some of these things tells us about, like, okay, what kind of person we are. Maybe that is why they ask in an interview a lot, like, okay, what are your hobbies? So when we choose something as a hobby, it helps us knowing about ourselves, or the other person, in what kind of personality we possess. Now, in addition to this, many times choosing a hobby not only triggers our traits or attributes that may be dormant, or were never used. Like now, many a times, I know a person who was very underconfident in her work, in her professional life, and was having hard time in believing in her capabilities. So then she started pursuing a hobby and started working on something that she loved. She told me that, okay, I have joined this class and I'm going to go on that. I said, okay, fine, go ahead. So she started doing that, and slowly, because she put a lot of effort and heart in that activity, she started doing really well, and it showed in the results, and people started appreciating her skills. This gave her a sense of confidence and belief in herself, and it started showing in her work as well. So definitely, when you work on something that you love, you learn a lot of skills. It gives you a confidence. It familiarizes you with yourself only, and tells you about the strengths that you have, or maybe the weaknesses that you have. Now you know them, and when you know something, you know how to handle that as well. When you don't know yourself, it is difficult for you to explain yourself in front of the other person also. So that is something I saw in that person changing after starting, uh, or after having a hobby. So hobby teaches us to enjoy our own company, helps us to understand the real meaning of the benefits of having a me time. When we spend time doing what we love, then, and invest ourselves in it, we get to know ourselves better. Am I over energetic, or am I someone who like fast results? Am I patient, or do I like seeing things unfolding slowly? Do I like to explore new things, or do I like investing more time in what I already have? When we do something that we love, we get doing doing that thing again and again daily gives us time with ourselves. We get to think about ourselves. We get to think about our personality. Okay, what I like. How am I approaching a problem? How am I solving this? How am I doing this thing? So this gives you a sense of clarity and acceptance in your mind about yourself. And when you know yourself, when you are clear and confident about yourself, then you radiate the same in front of the other people. When we know that, okay, what I like and what I want in life, then you explain it to others in a better way. Okay, this is what I want. Now, this is what I like. You are not a confusing personality anymore. And thus, we create a favorable and sustainable environment around ourselves. So, I would say that the gist is that finding a hobby for yourself not only gives you a pleasure and happiness, but also brings you home. It gives you a chance to know more about yourself, teaches you to enjoy your own company, brings balance, helps you ap- appreciate your work, makes you productive, or I should say, gives you a wholesome experience by completing the full circle. So, I would say, what is the takeaway with that? Okay, fine, we talked a lot. So, I would, at the end, I would just say that no matter how busy you are only going to get busier, and you cannot wait to retire to do something that you love, right? You have to start it right away. So go choose a thing that you like, you might love, put your heart and soul in it, and you will see the miraculous changes in your personality. I'm not saying a lot of time, just an hour daily or maybe a few hours over the weekend, put into that activity, and you will discover a whole lot of potential inside you that is hidden and untouched. So at the end, I would just say that steal out some time to do the things that make you feel alive and give you the wings. Find a hobby and give it a go, for it will bring out the best in you, for it will help you grow. Thank you. And also, please share whatever you have. If you would like to share any experience with us or anything that you feel that you found while pursuing a hobby, please share it with us. We would love to know about it. Or if you have any questions, please let me know in chat. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Swarnima. And I think Archana has just posted there's an Instagram page that Swarnima has, might make you help finding a hobby and have some more happiness around you.
Thank
That's
you. Thanks, Archana, for posting that.
that's amazing.
Yeah, so
And
guys, this is the Instagram page that I have created, and I have just posted whatever I have done as a hobby, and I did not think of any judgments, and I just go and post it there. So maybe I hope it might motivate you to find a hobby for yourself.
maybe definitely to me, but I think it's more difficult to find time than a hobby. But we have to make time.
That's what I said.
Yes, can't wait to get
You're
retired.
underselling it so much, Swarnima.
That was the talk was all about. You have to find time. You don't want to wait till you're in a retirement that okay, now I have time to do something I love.
That's right. That's right. All righty. And as always, if you have any questions, please feel free to post it in the chat. What we do from here, what's next in the wrap up? It's mostly the wrapping up the event now. Being a wonderful audience. Um, if you have questions, how do you learn more about the MuleSoft? How do you have more insights in the journey? The first thing you can go create a account on the mulesofttraining.com. It's a free account. You can always create it. There are self-paced and instructor-led courses. Enroll for them. Start learning. Start reading. And you will have a lot of more people, community like Himanshi, Swarnima supporting you out there. From there, we have a new certification coming up, which is MuleSoft Certified Developer Level 2, which has a prerequisite that you should be a Certified Developer 1, Level 1 certification, and you should have an active certification. If your certification is about to expire, I think there's a maintenance you can always take in, or you can just renew your certificate. Apart from that, there are new developer tutorials. So this is this website. You can always go and find more tutorials. It's a very good repository that is being created, I would say, and has really easy ways of explaining with videos and how you can pick up things. So just pick up that. There's also Friends of Max. So Friends of Max is a number of videos on a specific topic, and it just keeps growing every week, every month. We have top videos. We get new videos all the time. So we say what's new with Friends of Max, what's happening. You can always go in there, tag people, ask questions as many you want. And yes, that's it. And how do you get involved? So if you want to be a speaker, if you want to get involved in Women Who Mule group, join us on LinkedIn, join our meetup group. You can always send your questions to myself, Archana, Sonal, anybody, and we'll make sure we respond to you in time, not take too long to respond. You can always find us on LinkedIn, on meetup groups, and we are. And if you can just tell us if you want any technical topics to be covered, or in any what kind of topics you would like to have in the upcoming meetups, like a social one or some panel discussions or some technical topics, feel free to put them through, and we'll try to cater for that audience and cater for those topics as well. And thank you so much.
And guys, if you want to use social media, use hashtag Women Who Mule or MuleSoft PKO partner kickoff. So yeah. All right. Thanks, Himanshi and Sarnima. It was really good chat and very enlightening. Definitely very inspiring for the people onto this meetup. Yeah. So guys, feel free to contact me or Rashneet if you want to be a speaker, if you want to learn about any particular topic or what you want to see in this meetup group. We are happy to accommodate whatever you feel, what you want, with what interests you the most. Yeah.
With that,
All right.
thank you, everybody. Let's close the session.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Swarnima.
you all.
Thank you, Archana, for
Thank
your
you,
special
Swarnima.
presence.
Thank you,
Always happy
everyone.
to be the special guest.